Your local voice in your community. 103.9.
And as promised, that's the first of 3 tracks we're playing today, because that's the Roadhouse Regulars from their album Redemption. And on the line I have, hopefully he's there. I pressed the right buttons. Michael, are you there?
Yep. How are you, Peter?
Good, thank you, mate. Great to hear. The voice is coming through loud and clear, mate. So that's terrific. Sometimes the line can be a little bit dodgy. Now, before we start chatting, I'll let the listeners know that I had Michael booked in to talk to me 2 weeks ago, and I had been told by management several weeks before that I wouldn't be going to air on the 23rd of September because the footy finals were on, and they've committed to broadcasting them. And so I rolled in on that morning and suddenly realised I had to make a whole lot of hurried phone calls to say, sorry, mate. And one of them was to you, Michael Buining. So, yeah, thank you very much, mate, for being patient.
Not a problem.
Okay, let's. Where are you from, Michael? And when did you guys get together? Who is the Roadhouse Regulars?
Well, I'm from Sydney.
Yep.
Born and bred.
Yep.
And the Roadhouse Regulars, it emerged initially as the vehicle for a recording project. So it actually started off as the songs in the album, and then the band came together to record it. Mm-hmm. And after that, we've kind of strung on to do like some live performances and built it from that. So it's a little bit reverse. I think most bands, get together, they play live, then they put out an album and they kick on. This really started off as from that album, and that's where it stemmed from. The guys in the band, is the drummer I used is a guy called Ruben Alexander. He's a phenomenal drummer. He does some drumming with Rat Cat. He's played with the Beach Boys. He
Okay.
Does a lot of touring with William Crichton, who's a fantastic Australian singer-songwriter. The harmonica player is a guy called Gray Reid. He's also in Sydney. He's been playing around the taps for a long time. I use a bit of pedal steel on it. The guy there's a guy called Jai Perry Banks, who plays with the Cruising Juices and a few other things, and he's one of the top pedal steel players in Sydney, if not Australia.
I've got to write that down. The Cruising Juices, is it?
The Cruising Juices, yeah, it's beautiful, and it's like the pedal steel when it comes in such a beautiful instrument. I use the piano in a couple of places, and that's a guy called Bo Golden, who's again in Sydney, and he's done a lot of work with some of the artists from the X Factor, and does musical direction from them. So the musicians who came together to record on the project, they're just beautiful bunch of guys to work with, and that's how the band got together. It really started with the album.
Right, and who's writing the tracks? Who wrote? The first one was "Sell My Soul," that one we just heard then. So who wrote that track?
Yeah, so they're all. I wrote them all.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So I wrote them all, and I guess the whole album. It's a semi-autobiographical piece. It's a bit of a concept album in that it tells a story, and the songs are quite, but they really are thematically linked, and they progress from beginning to end. I guess that's the roots of the album.
Well, hence the name Redemption. It's a story of going through and coming out the other side, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly it, yeah. It's funny because I think some people, obviously with the word redemption, there's spiritual overtones to it, and I think when people see the word redemption, it's kind of like it's a churchy thing. But redemption is far more than that. And I guess my journey, it has been quite a redemptive one, but in that sense, for me, it really has been over a long term, like a journey actually like away from the church, and it's been redemptive in that sense. But as you said, it really is about coming out the other side, whatever path you take. It's about making sure you get out the other side.
Well, that's exactly right, Michael, and it's also that sort of sense that you've woken up to possibly, you've woken up to yourself or things you've been doing or you haven't been doing. And you sort of said to yourself, "Well, look, I've got to pull my socks up here. I've got to, this is not the way to keep going." You know what I mean? So it's, I like the idea behind that. The second track we're going to play is called "God Only Knows," and I love that. I love this track. Again, this is obviously a collaboration effort between. With your musicians, and you've written the song yourself. Yeah, it's just a great title, isn't it? God Only Knows.
Yeah, it's probably one of the last songs I wrote on the album. And when I had all the pieces together, like for the album, there was just a couple of holes in it. I wanted a song that was a bit heavier.
Yep.
That had a bit more I guess beef to it.
Yep.
And I was listening to a great album called Backed in Black, and it's these cover versions of a whole lot of AC/DC songs, done very stripped back with just acoustic guitars and some little shakers, And I was listening to the track Hell's Bells, and I thought it's such a fantastic track. And so this song, it's sort of inspired by some of the rhythms and some of the beats behind Hell's Bells, and that's where it came from. And I guess the other factor in this song is years ago I did 5 years ago I did a Black Dog ride to Red Centre to Alice Springs, and of course the Black Dog Institute, that's all about raising awareness of depression and mental health. And so this song is very much about that as well, and as I said, it's that redemptive journey. I guess it's the cry of the close friends, the mother, the father, saying, "What happened to this boy? Yeah. What happened to this boy? Where is this man now?"
Yeah. And let's have a listen. This is "God Only Knows" by the Roadhouse Regulars. You're on Seymour FM 103.9. We're talking with Michael Buining from the Roadhouse Regulars, and that was a track from their album called The album's called Redemption, and the name of the track is A God Only Knows. And as you said, Michael, in the lyrics there, what happened to that boy, God only knows. You know.
Yeah.
It's moving along towards that. Where can people buy the album? First of all, mate, we'll get onto that. Can they get the album from certain places?
The album is available on Spotify and iTunes and Apple Music.
Yep.
So just search for the Roadhouse Regulars. Yep. Or the title Redemption. Or there's the band website www.theroadhouseregulars.com.au. If you go there, it's got the links to iTunes and Spotify, and it's got the stories behind the songs and the inspiration behind that as well. It tells a bit more about the band. Right.
Okay. So that's and I will put a link up to your Facebook page on my Facebook page later on today or tomorrow morning, one or the other, as I do with all the artists played on the program, so people can also chase them up that way. Now you've got a solo career, and I'll get you back here on the station 5 or 6 weeks from now. We'll talk about, because you've got a solo. I got the album called Third. Is it Third? That's right. Yeah. And so we'll talk to you about that. But let's keep on the Roadhouse Regulars, because that's today's subject. Are you writing more material for a follow-up album?
Yeah, I am. And I've got about half a dozen songs together. And as I said, I've really been trying to explore the style of it. It's kind of a heavy blues roots feel with a lot of acoustic instrumentation. And I've been wanting to explore that sound, the themes of the songs, and push that further. So the next album, I've got about 5 or 6 songs.
Yep.
And I think I'm going to hit the studio, with the guys, maybe by the end of the year, if not early next year, because normally I find that when I start hitting the studio, that's when a lot of the other songs start coming out. And I think as we hit it, there'll probably be another 2 or 3 that'll come out. But there's some interesting tracks underway and completed on that one. It's going to be quite dark.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be some of the songs are quite dark, so I've got to come out with some that lighten it up a little bit, I think.
Yeah. All right, mate. Look, we are rapidly running out of time. We're starting to push the time envelope. Michael, thank you very much for talking to us. And as
Pleasure.
I said, we'll get you back on. We'll talk about your solo album, Third. I'll get you back on maybe later this month or in November. And, of course, you've got my phone number, I got yours. So when the next Roadhouse Regulars album comes out, mate, be sure to be in touch, and we'll get you back on the show. So now this is the track we're going out with was actually the first one I heard from the Roadhouse Regulars, and so Let It Flow. I mean, it just the song names itself, doesn't it? It sort of explains itself.
Yeah.
That was one of the first you wrote for the album, or not? Did you say?
Yeah, it was quite an early one, and it's quite a reflective piece, and it does reflect that idea of, as you said earlier, like redemption. It's a journey. It's about how you come out at the other end. And so this song, it's quite a reflective one. It's inspired by my dad, and my mum, like a great deal. Because I guess as you grow older, the thing we keep. It is our memories.
Yeah.
And so the song is about letting those memories, and whether they're good ones or bad ones, happy ones, sad ones, whatever they are, they're the things that we take with us as we grow older.
Yep.
And there's a line at the end, about my mum and dad. Even though I'm an old man, I'm not that old, they still wipe my tears away.
Yeah.
And I guess it's saying the memories that we take with us, that's really what can wipe our tears away.
Yep. Yeah. Fully agree, mate. Fully agree. All right, Michael, we are out of time, mate. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks very much, Peter.
My apologies again for a fortnight ago.
No problem.
They told me, and then I said, yep, no worries, and then completely forgot. So anyway, it's been great talking to you, and we will talk to you again. If you would like to introduce that track again, and then we'll just then go hang up and go about your day, mate. Thank you, and thank you again for talking to us.
Thanks very much. So to everyone that's listening, enjoy this track, Let It Flow, a little bit of reflection for your afternoon. Let It Flow by Michael Buining and the Roadhouse Regulars.
Waiting by the corner of a schoolyard, watching you drive away, waving goodbye. I wipe my tears away. Walking home that lonely mile, trying to find my way. Those schoolboys, they called me up. I had to wipe my tears away. So let it rock, let it roll, let it flow. And may your sweet memories be your goal. Let them ebb, let them flow, soothe your soul when you're old. The good times you've had will never go. Just let it flow. Mama, you never did tell me. Daddy, you never did say. One day, when you're an old man, I'll wipe your tears away. So let it rock and let it roll, let it flow. And may your sweet memories be your goal. Let them ebb, let them flow, soothe your soul when you're old. The good times you've had